In a city riddled with drugs and violence, only one man can stand against evil. The only problem? He's a real piece of shit.
Who the fuck is calling me this early? Gangsta's a dead man.
I want you to bring me his fucking head!
Ugly son of a bitch deals drugs.
Blood Prince is fucking girl, bro.
I got some brimstone.
She's looking for you.
You fuck the Stryker.
What else is new? Another fucking day of this shit.
1, 2, 3, you're grinding out!
What's up, guys? John the RetroBro back with another video, a special edition of the RetroBro Show, which I haven't done in forever, but I'm here speaking with Ryan Cadaver, singer, songwriter, movie director, you name it, he does it all. We're going to be talking about his new movie, Joe Stryker, that is coming out November 16th. I'm super excited about this. We're essentially bringing it onto the RetroBros channel because this is like the most bro movie I've seen probably since Rambo. Ryan, how are you, brother? What you up to?
I'm fantastic, man. Yeah, I'm in a band called the Casket Creatures, and we write spooky music. And me and the guitar player Kevin decided to direct a movie. So here I am, and we may do it all, but we'll wait to see what people think before I get the feedback on if we can do it all. But I'm pretty damn happy with it.
I'm super excited, man. Like I remember. I'm not even sure. I think you might have posted something over a year ago. At least it seems like it was over a year ago. And you're talking about this Joe Stryker movie with this dude who looks like he's like right out of 1983. Probably drives a Trans Am. I'm like, this looks pretty cool. So I followed the Facebook page. Honestly, like I didn't know what to expect. And, you guys started doing cast announcements. I'm like, okay, like they're doing it, man. This is really awesome. So I kind of wanted to start from the beginning, man. Like, how did you guys come up with this idea?
So basically, me and Kevin Mayfield, or he goes by Slavefield in the band, but me and Kevin worked on some of the Cast Creatures music videos, and like whenever Kevin joined the band, he directed Deranged, and it was like awesome. And then I helped him. Me and him kind of came up with the idea for Phantom Zone, which is like kind of an extended music video. It's kind of like a mini movie, and we got all these like little villains together, and like had the Casket Creatures battling dudes in space, and it was like really, really fun, and just like it was something different than music. I mean, we've done like 5 albums, and it's like really, really fun to put out a new album, but like whenever we created that music video, it was just like a excitement hit us that had never hit us before, and it was like, this is like a new medium, like something we can actually pull off, and people really like the music video. So we're like sitting around, and me and Kevin worked together, and we're like, man, we should really like, I've seen some indie movies, of varying quality. I'm like, we could do this, we could make a movie. And little did we know how much work it would take, but we recruited Joseph Watts, and he's playing Joe Stryker. He's a good friend of ours, and he was like, yeah, I'm all in. We told him it was gonna be tedious and a lot of days of shooting, and we only kind of half knew what we were doing, but everything worked out pretty good. Everything kind of stuck to the schedule, and we I kind of wonder myself if, like you were saying, we started announcing stuff, but, I kind of wonder myself if we could actually pull it off, but it was like no guts, no glory,
Right on.
It's like, let's just do it. And we just kept pushing and pushing through it. And my wife, Nicole, did special effects. And everything kind of fell into place. We had a lot of great friends help us, a lot of great people, a lot of great music, as you could hear from the trailer. So everything just kind of came together and fell in place. Like it shouldn't have fallen in place that good. Like the music in the trailer is by a band called Stryker with an I.
Right on.
And they're a metal band that I love. And whenever we started doing the movie, I was like, man, I wish that we could get them on the soundtrack. And they just happened to be playing in town. And like me and Kevin went to the show and like we're talking to him after. I was like, yeah, we're just like directing this little action movie, indie action movie. And they were like, oh shit, do y'all need music? And I was like, oh my God, we got it.
The stars aligned.
Yeah. So it's just, everything just kind of worked out good, man. And yeah, now I got the bug, man. Me and Kevin both are just like ready to do another one already. And nobody's even seen this one.
So tell me about the backstory to Joe Stryker. So I played the trailer at the beginning. So could you kind of like elaborate on the story? What can we expect? I mean, obviously no spoilers, but kind of just give us the backstory of it.
Absolutely. Well, first off, we're a horror band, and I think that we kind of did this to like, subvert everyone's expectations. It's like, oh, they're going to do a horror movie, but no, we went with 80s action movie because that's my second favorite genre other than horror. So, it's about a cop, Joe Stryker, who his wife is murdered, and the city's spiraling into chaos with this new drug that's taking over the city. And basically, he's a renegade cop that doesn't give a shit about the rules, and he's trying to find the people responsible for his wife being murdered. And no one on, like his chief and nobody like necessarily believes him, so he's out for revenge, and he's just going to do it no matter what it takes. Fuck the rules. Justice is his jurisdiction. That's pretty much the gist of it. So it's a revenge movie.
I love it, man. I actually didn't like, obviously kind of knew what it was about, just from like the trailers and kind of what you guys have been posted, but I didn't know the in-depth story, kind of how you, or a semi-in-depth story. So that makes me want to watch it even more now. It's really got like that perfect 80s like vibe we don't really get anymore. Obviously,
dude, and that
indie underground. I mean,
that was one of the hardest things. It's like, we did a good job with props and stuff, but like we're shooting at a lot of like venues that we play at and a lot of places we know, and we can't just be like ripping their flat screens off the walls and shit. So like that was the hardest thing about making an 80s movie.
Yeah.
It's like it not being the 80s and us having no money.
So does it actually take place in the 80s?
It never says, which is kind of intentional. Gotcha. It's kind of intentional. So it's got the 80s vibe. But yeah, if you look close enough, you might see like a modern car drive by in the background and stuff. But whatever, man. We're this is our first attempt, and I feel like we got the 80s vibe, which is what we wanted, like that kind of cheesy like Malibu Express kind of Miami Connection kind of vibe that we wanted. And I think we nailed that. And it's definitely an action movie, but as it kind of went on, and if you've ever seen any of our music videos, like a lot of it devolves into ridiculous comedy. So there's a lot of ridiculous over the top comedy in it. So it's just as much action as it is comedy.
Now, did you guys get any professional actors, or are these pretty much people you knew? Maybe they had a little bit of acting background. I mean, you said you've done previous videos with your band, so I'm assuming that some of these guys might have some acting experience.
Yeah, the guy who plays the bad guy, and he's in the trailer for a minute, John McCullum, he has had some experience in the past. Like he's done some indie films here and there, and he's kind of like making that his like main focus and drive is to be an actor. And you can see it in the movie. He's incredible. And Jimmy Harper, he plays one of the other major characters, and he does a lot of stage acting, and he's done some indie films too, and he is fantastic. But other than that, most of the people involved, I did some acting in it, Kevin did some acting in it. We've never really acted at all, but I'm really, really excited. And we took a lot of time when we were shooting, so like we made sure to get the best performances and the best takes, and that's one of the benefits of shooting digital too. It's like we can take the time and don't have to worry about film and stuff like that. So I mean, the acting, when it's cheesy and over the top, it's supposed to be, and when it's good, Yeah,
I did notice that from the trailer. Definitely, I was like right before I had you come on, I looked at the trailer again. I'm like, you know what? For an indie film, the acting in this seems pretty good. I mean, my wife, she watches like some of those cheesy Christian movies. Those are probably some of the worst movies ever. I don't know if you've ever seen any of those.
I've seen a few of them.
Oh God, you want to talk about terrible acting? Like I've tried to sit down with her every now and then and watch a couple. I'm like, I can't do this. Like it's too bad. But when I watch this trailer, I'm like, this actually looks pretty good. I mean, like you said, it's cheesy. It's cheesy when it needs to be, and you can kind of like, but it's like not cheesy in a bad way. It's cheesy intentionally, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's really trying to capture that vibe of those movies that I really like, and it does a good job, in my opinion, of, you know, I'm biased obviously, but I think it does a good job of like writing that line to where it feels like an 80s action movie, but it doesn't feel like Sharknado or something where it's so silly that it's like, come on, you are like, it's too like wink, wink, nudge, nudge, haha, do you see what we're doing? It's not really like that. It's like everyone in the world of Joe Stryker seems to take everything that's happening seriously. It's just the shit that happens is insane.
So talk to me about like funding, man, and obviously you don't have to get into details, but was this a crowdfunded movie, or did you guys kind of like back this with your own means? I mean, because I gotta say, if it's not something that went to crowdfunding, I'm like extremely impressed. Yeah,
you know, we kind of had this, like I said earlier, like, you know, it was like there's still that thing in the back of my head, like, can we actually do this? You know, so we kind of had this attitude, like, we're going to shoot this on the weekends. We're going to invest our own money into it, because I just wanted to prove that we could do it and prove that we could put out our own film ourselves. And then the goal is, if people enjoy this one and like this one, and like you saw, we have the pre-orders up now, so that's like helping fund the production of it. But now the movie's complete. See, I just didn't want to be like, hey, we've never made a movie before, but please give us your money. So it was kind of one of those things where we were like, let's do it just to do it. Like, we're friends and we want to make a movie. And then we're going to see what the world thinks of it. And then if people want another one, then we'll do a crowdfunding thing for the sequel. And then that way we can have, you know, some awesome like celebrity cameos and like some actual like awesome explosions and stuff like that we can actually spend a lot of money on. This one was a lot more DIY, like, you know, just let's see what we can make happen. A lot of making props, a lot of me and Kevin just outside spray painting shit, just trying to like get stuff looking right. And a lot of just heart and soul into this movie, which I think people are going to see when they see it. And I think when, you know, if you go into this expecting like some big budget, like awesome, you know, like epic Marvel movie or something, you're gonna be very disappointed. But like, if you realize that like we literally just took the extra cash we had and the friends that we had and we're like, let's make a movie, I think, you know, that's gonna show through, because there's a lot of heart behind it. It's not just like we gave it our all, you know.
Yeah, and
but
go ahead. The
sequel, we're gonna definitely do some crowdfunding, because we're not gonna make it unless people want it.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I saw, and when I followed you guys, is, I mean, I could definitely see how much passion you guys put into this project. I mean, I myself, I'm an entrepreneur, and I actually own my own supplement company that me and my business partner launched we launched it back in April. And I mean, like, I know the amount of work that goes into this stuff and the amount of passion. And then when I saw it, I'm like, you know, and then I started following it. I'm like, I have to get this movie. I mean, it's just, like, first of all, I love supporting entrepreneurs, and to see somebody and a group of people pursue their dreams without going to crowdfunding even is just super awesome, man.
I just didn't want to do it on the first one. And you know how it is. It's like, you know, let's show people what we can do, and then we'll take that step.
And especially like with the perception today, even, you know, there's this whole negative condemnation with crowdfunding, it seems, so much, and people are so skeptical about it these days. And I
get why, man, because there's so many projects that like either don't happen, or they take way longer than they say they're going to, or they come out and they're subpar. Like a lot of gaming stuff like that, you know, it's like you're like all excited about this game, and you throw money at it, and then it's like some reason people can pick it up at GameStop before the people who funded it, and it's like just like all this crap happens, and then it's like always the same thing, and then it's like, so I get why people are skeptical of it.
Yeah.
And I'm skeptical of it too, so that's one of the reasons I didn't want to just jump straight to crowdfunding, because I constantly see like bands that are like, hey, we need like, you know, $6,000 to make our album, and I'm like, why? I'm like, my band has put out several albums and we haven't spent that much on all 5 of them, you know. It's like, we get it done, like the old school way. And I mean, I think our production's like top quality because we take our time and we know what we're doing.
That, and you have your own money into it. And I think when you have your own time and money invested into it, you feel more pressure on yourself even to like I'm the type of person, if I put my money into something, I don't want to waste that money. I don't want to waste my time. So every little bit of effort I can put into it to make it better, I feel obligated to do it when it's my own money. When it's somebody else's money, especially when it's crowdfunding, and you don't really have to answer to a crowdfunded project like you would, say, traditional investors. It's a totally different ball game. And that's not to say some crowdfunding projects there's some great crowdfunding projects out there. But I think I definitely kudos to you guys for not going to crowdfunding.
Yeah, I just figured, we've never made a movie before, and maybe this one comes out and people don't dig it, but at least we made a movie and I'm proud of it, and we can always have that. But you're right, putting our own money into it, we paid to rent some locations, and it was we thought everything out to the T because we're going to make the most of this time because we paid our own money to rent this location out, so it's shit like that. It's exactly what you're saying. It's I dumped my money that I could be using on fun shit or vacation or whatever. I dumped it into renting out a place so we could shoot, a scene there,
Right on. Exactly. So I got to ask some questions, man. Tell me about some obstacles you guys had, filming this, whether it was location, maybe some things you didn't expect, you had something planned and you find out something's totally different, or just some interesting stories maybe from the process that you can share with everyone.
Yeah. One of the biggest hurdles we had is we shot at a few locations that were venues that my band plays at. And the owners were very cool about it and very yes, of course, that's great. But then a lot of times, we would show up and nobody that works there was really told about it. And they're who are all these guys with cameras? What's going on? And then we're getting stared down. And we have we have one scene in a bar where there's this brutal fight happening, and then there's people in the background that are just all talking and on their phones and laughing and all stuff. And I get it, they're running a business. We can't be hey, shut down your fucking business. But it's it's stuff like that. We had to figure out how to shoot around it and make it work, even though we really were pressured because we weren't able to just rent out the whole place.
Right.
So
I can imagine how much that would cost. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of stuff like that where any scene that's in a bar in this movie, we were pretty much in a time crunch to get the shot, go, because we ran into that a lot. And we had a whole pool hall scene planned where there's gonna be this big fight in this pool hall, and Q-sticks getting broken over people's faces and all this stuff. And we had it all planned out. And then we get there, and there's just some rednecks that are yeah, we're using this table while we were shooting. And they're yeah, we're going to use this table. And we're well, we're trying to shoot a scene, and the owner was nowhere to be found. And we're just oh shit, what do we do? Or we can't tell them no, So we ended up having to move the whole scene into a totally different part of the bar, because of that.
Oh wow, I'd have been hey man, want to be in a movie?
yeah, But it was just it's a balancing act. It's you don't want the owner to be hey, what the fuck? Why are you disrupting my business? But at the same time, we're we got to get the shot. So it's hard when you're asking favors,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's but other than that, and then there's a couple shots that were, or a couple places we shot that are supposed to be I don't want to give anything away, but they're supposed to be a specific kind of location, and they totally aren't that. So we're just frantically trying to make it look like it's let's say an office or there's stuff like that where we're just yeah, this doesn't quite look how we anticipated from the pictures online or whatever, so we had to think on the fly a good bit. Scouting locations is by far the hardest aspect that we had. Other than that, it was just little shit people's work schedules change and stuff like that. But that's all to be expected. And everyone was super, super cool and excited about the project enough to make sure that, if we missed the shooting day, we would make it up and stuff like that. And it took longer than we anticipated. Like you said, I mean, we started posting about this like almost a year ago, and it's just now out, so it took longer than we expected. We were hoping to get it out over the summer, but honestly, I'm just glad we got the thing out.
Right on, man. I'm excited for you guys. So tell us about the pre-order. Where can everyone go to check this out, get the pre-order? What are some of the options they have, as far as different packages?
Yeah, man. So, if you go to joestriker.bigcartel.com, that's our web store where you can do all the pre-orders, and we're going to start shipping those by the end of the week. So, like, it's not like you're going to be sitting around for a month waiting on it. Like, you'll have it probably, like, next week or the week after. Like, you'll have it soon. We're going to have we have Blu-rays up there. We have a bunch of packages with, like, the Joe Striker hoodie. We have the Shit Sack Pack, which is a total reference to the movie, which comes with an awesome baseball shirt that I had to get one of because it's freaking cool. So it comes with like a very 80s style baseball shirt that says Joe Striker, and it comes with the Blu-ray, and it comes with a poster. We have an actual prop head that was used in the movie, like a decapitated head that was customized by my wife and looks really gnarly. And we have that up for sale. So if you want to own a piece of movie history, you can get that from joestriker.bigcartel.com. And if you don't want to remember that web address, you can just look us up on Facebook, and we've posted it like a million times. So, and the pre-orders have like floored me. Like, I'm so stunned by how good it's been doing. Like, it's really, really awesome. It's really like reassuring.
Well, I remember when you announced the pre-order, I think I ordered it while I was driving on the interstate, which probably wasn't a very bright idea. I got the Blu-ray with the shirt and the poster. I was like, I have to have all of this.
That's awesome, man.
So and then I messaged you. I was like, you know what, man, I've got to get this guy on the channel and just talk about this indie project, because it's so fitting to be like what I talk about on my channel with like retro games and just like retro stuff. Like, I used to do a show on my channel called Is It Bro, and I talked about like different types of video games. So it's totally fitting. I'm super excited for you guys. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've got the link in the description for people if they do want to go ahead and pre-order that. And we're actually going to be doing a giveaway. So if you share this video and tag is it the cast? What's your Twitter handle?
Yeah, you can do. It's at the Casket Creatures.
So if you share this video and tag at the Casket Creatures in a after I receive everything, because I'll be doing the giveaway. I'll do a random drawing, and some lucky viewer of this episode will win a DVD copy. So I'd love to give
fantastic
fans. So yeah, Ryan, I'm super excited. Thanks for coming on here. We're right at the 20-minute mark.
Thank you for having me.
Anything else you wanted to add? What we can look forward to? Again, check them out on Facebook.
Right now it's like I'm very with this kind of thing. It's like this is new to me, so I'm trying to think of it one step at a time. So if you happen to live in Atlanta, we're having a premiere this weekend. At Sweetwater in Duluth, Sweetwater Bar and Grill. And the reason we're doing it at a bar is because they have an awesome projector, like an HD projector, great sound. And then we're going to have all the bands that were involved in the movie play after the movie. So you can actually see, like, or not all the bands, not like Stryker and stuff, but like all the local area bands that were involved in the movie. So we'll all be performing afterwards. And the guy who plays the police chief in the trailer, the guy with the sweet mustache, he's actually the singer of a punk rock band called DDC, and they wrote a song for the movie called Striking Out that's playing at the end of the trailer. And they're going to be performing that live, so that'll be super cool.
Nice. Is there any place we could go to kind of get to kind of check out the soundtrack that you guys did? Because, I mean, that music in the trailer, I personally love it. You had mentioned the band. Should we just check out Stryker the band?
Yeah, Stryker. There's 3 Stryker songs in the movie. The other one would be DDC. There's another rock band out of Atlanta called BSOL, and a lot of acronyms. But anyways, so yeah, and then the Casket Creatures were in the soundtrack a pretty good bit, and we're all in the movie. And the Casket Creatures are actually playing in the movie too. So that's another little Easter egg for you.
Nice, guys.
But I now
Go
that
ahead.
you mentioned that, I kind of want to make like a Spotify playlist of all the songs in the movie. I just thought of that right now, but that would be pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, I'd love to get that hold of that playlist. But I'll definitely check out those bands, and the viewers check that out. Again, guys, it's Joe Stryker. Just is his jurisdiction. I'm super excited about it. Check him out on Facebook. Share this video. Tag at the Casket Creatures at GTTD_retro. That's my Twitter handle. So just share this video, tag those, and get entered into winning a DVD copy. Ryan, man, thanks for coming on, and best of luck to you guys. We'll be on the lookout for more awesomeness.
Thank you, man, and I'll be on the lookout for your new projects that you got going on.
Yes. Those will be. I'll have some updates on that soon, actually. So thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I'll talk to you later.
Take care.